All right, bonus episode. You're listening to Jo and Lex on Rethinking the Mundane, and we've decided to throw in an extra bonus episode here because we've been chatting about innovation for innovation's sake.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to keep the conversation going. What were we chatting about?
I guess we were talking about I guess I showed you some stuff where folks are trying to address problems with AI, and one of those areas was about audio, screenless audio experience, and I guess I was talking about my interest in wanting to work in those sort of spaces. And I think we were talking about, the human nature sometimes, our constant desire is to constantly always progress and improve things, but also sometimes it can feel like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's like I was reading about Johnny Ive and OpenAI's kind of $1 billion plan to create the next smartphone, and how Ive is regretful of the level of addiction that we have with screens, and a lot of that has obviously come from the work he's done in creating, moving the smartphone industry forwards. And I think it's interesting talking about, say, a screenless tech using AI to bring some of that functionality in. And when you first think about it, you think, nah, that's not going to be. You can't take a screen off a phone. I mean, it's all about content. It's all about content.
Yeah.
And actually, then if you think about it, it's like, well, if you could take a photograph with your glasses and an algorithm knew how you wanted it edited and cut and uploaded to social media, then why wouldn't you would just press the button and then just let it happen behind the scenes? You wouldn't need to sit there and cut video and edit things for TikTok and write emails, because you'd have an AI assistant that was doing that for you. So you would just be able to sit there and read a book on the tube, like a physical book, because you wouldn't have your screen. But the point is, I guess, it raised the question of, like, are they the right people to do it? The people who are, and what's the real kind of motivation for doing that? What's the real benefit? Like, obviously, I can say that it's because he wants to maybe find a way of solving some of the problems that he has helped to create. But it's got to be more than that, right? We need to be thinking about. You've done a lot of work thinking about the next billion users of the internet and what their needs are, and why are we designing for them? Why are they not designing for themselves?
And even that term, the next billion users of the internet, that kind of came from Akil's sort of. We did some work with Google in the past around looking at AI and that concept of the next million users, and I remember Akil being very inspired by that. I remember we would have this back and forth debate about who are we calling the next million users. Who do we define that? Do we define that as folks in the global south? Do we define that as folks who are part of the Gen Alpha demographic? Do we define that as even the elderly? My grandma's still somebody that hasn't utilized the internet, to its capacity. How do you design for her to be able to come into that? But also, our whole series has been about rethinking the mundane throughout. And obviously we're both professional individuals who've worked in the space long enough not to talk about, and we're designers who have value systems, hence why when we talk about rethinking the mundane, we haven't gone into an episode to say, yes, this bin, we should make a smarter bin that gives you this thing, right? Because sometimes it's like becomes that innovation for innovation's sake. And I guess as an individual where your job is to produce new things or to look at a world around you and go, okay, how can this be done better? How do you try to be careful of falling into that trap?
It's really difficult because we work in an industry reliant on production and consumption. So without changing the entire industry, which would take more than just one design agency, we have to basically work within that framework. And I would like someone else to call me out and say, actually, here's the way you could change that industry. But I think that would mean changing capitalism. And I, for one, think that's above my pay grade. But so we've got these kind of systems, these structures, and I think the challenge is that we have to. Sorry, my I've got to check that it's still recording. Yeah, still recording. My aunt's 90 at the weekend, and she keeps calling me to make sure that I've got flowers.
Oh, so cute.
for my mum, to say thank you for organising her party. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, so we've got this structure and working within these sort of boundaries, but actually when you dig down into it, you've got capitalism, which then, and consumerism, which, if we think about the way that products are sold to us, it's all about efficiency. This is going to make your life better. This is going to make this task quicker. This is going to allow you to get fit quicker, or look after your health and get to, reduce whatever it may be. And actually the problem is a lot of those things are not good for us in the long term, I believe. I mean, I don't think it's healthy for us to keep speeding our life up, to keep being able to be more efficient, do things more efficiently. And the use of AI is a really, really good example of that, in that it's all about streamlining workflows, about making systems more efficient so that things can be done quicker. To what end? I mean, we promised that the dishwasher would save us time in washing up. I honestly don't have more time in the evenings because of the dishwasher, really. I'm not saying like, oh my God, look at all this extra time I have because I don't have to do the washing up. I mean,
I do, but
I don't.
I'm joking.
But it's like, but you're still busy.
Yeah,
you're still tired.
I'm still tired.
Yeah, you're still rushing around all the time.
Yeah.
So like, you just fill your life up with other things.
Yeah.
So I guess I question innovations that are there to make our lives faster, to accelerate technological kind of development, and I think we're just chasing something that, I mean, how fast technology is developing at faster and faster pace. When is it going to slow down?
Yeah, no, I think about it a lot when it comes to this generative AI space right now, and and I'm trying to, I guess, figure out what's its best use case for, like, I guess from a creative practitioner perspective, what is the best use case for creatives in order to utilize these technologies, especially where a lot of these technologies are still early stage. But the unfortunate thing that happened is the hype train went so much that you almost fall into this trap of like an over promising of things. And then it's like, when you really maybe sometimes want to utilize these tools really well to like achieve a creative outcome, you realize the pitfalls or the challenges and stuff. And so for me, I'm always like, are we building technology to try to like throw it like spaghetti in the wall and hopefully that it just sticks or something? And like, where are we going? Where are we going with this shit? Yeah. This is what I always...
We were talking earlier about the space race and about how that really like inspired a generation. And I think the thing about the space race is that there was an end point. There was a point in which we were racing to the moon. Well, it was a race to a destination. Now it feels like we're in a constant space race, but we don't know where we're heading.
Yeah.
And so it's like, who can just go the furthest? Who can be the most outrageous or push the boundaries of, to the point where we're probably going to end up with creating an AI that's going to end up turning around back on us and destroying the whole of humanity.
Man, like yeah, no, I hear it. Yeah, no, I think it's an interesting space. I think it's something that I hope we can spend more time talking about it. But we're also interested. This is just a bonus episode after we were speaking
about bins,
and we thought we should do something with this. And I think one of these days we're just gonna record ourselves talking for like
3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah, do like a Joe Rogan.
Lex, what's his name? Friedman? I don't even know who it is. And yeah, so what is your thoughts on innovation for innovation's sake? What is your thoughts on where we're going with new technologies and how that shapes, productivity, efficiency? Where are we going with this business model, of this current business model of capitalism? Does it work? Is it sustainable into this new world? And what could new models look like? Because that shapes everything. Innovation is the greatest weapon of capitalism. So, yeah, and that was a lot in a short period of time. But you're listening to Rethinking the Mundane with Jo and Lex.
Thanks.